person.
No, Cat Daddy, what?
I can't be Cat Daddy? Is
No,
that?
I can't have two daddies. Like,
That's true.
Do you want to be
with
Cat
having two
Mommy?
daddies.
I don't know.
I honestly, I have lots of cats. You can call me Cat Mommy Jack. if it makes everything easier. Also, my funniest thing about this pred is Danny goes for Washington with Alfie, and then Johnny instantly abandons him. Like Danny copies Johnny's homework and then realizes that Johnny didn't use that answer. And then Danny says, "Oh, they'll just make it quick," even though Danny predicted a 3-2.
3-2, yeah.
Danny, I'm seeing some holes in the logic here, buddy.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
The walk back is is accelerating.
No?
You just don't get it. That's the problem. You just don't get
you're
it.
right.
I do love how confident everybody is in their Preds every single week.
Yeah.
It's great. It's really good. Excellent stuff from the desk. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you. We're going to jump into the game in just a second. I am in trouble after this series. That's all I'm saying. The desk not happy with me, but it's all good.
Yeah, you're getting a death stare from Johnny over here.
I'm not looking at him, man. I'm just facing away. All right, Toronto Defiant and the Washington Justice. Yeah, I mean, Justice pretty warmed up. Already won a match today, but Toronto just won a match against the Washington Justice. And this is another squad that is very happy with just playing the same kind of thing week in, week out right now in this new meta. Surmashed is one of the scariest Alaris right now in the game. So, and then you have Spectra, guy that comes in halfway through the season, fixes up a lot of problems that the Toronto Defiant seemingly had. Like, he is also a beast, and then he's mixed with Hydra. Hydra. Oh, you didn't see it. Hydron just went demon mode in the camera. Mixed with Hydron too, just a superstar lineup, honestly, all around. The Washington Justice, and what Johnny kind of picked up on the desk too was the fact that Alpha Yi really does pop off very much at the center of the Justice and their power and how much success they're currently having. It's up to Toronto to shut him down, but they got people to match him with, man.
And that's sort of it. The problem that a lot of people have had with the Justice this season is that it's either Alpha Yi or bust. If Alpha Yi doesn't go demon mode and he doesn't take over the game, the Justice always come out a little bit flat. And you know, Johnny brought it up as well. Toronto Defiant just took down the Washington Justice and playing pretty much the same compositions. The one fear that I have for Toronto Defiant going through the rest of these play-ins is, does this composition work on every single map? Because they've pretty much been one-tricking the Alari Baptiste setup, but everyone else has been moving away from it, playing the Junker Queen. Washington Justice with a very strange composition coming out on the first round of Well.
Hey, Dongan and Mercy pocketing Alpha Yi. All right, it's not too crazy on Well, but what we're seeing, at least in this meta, yeah, it's a little bit odd. Spectre in trouble.
He's not going to be able to win this Echo duel against an Echo
Alpha
Mercy.
Yi's hunting for him.
It's because he knows he has the advantage.
Bloodhound sense. Oh, Spectre has been found. Nice little sticky bomb. Oh, he lost them. He lost the 1v2. Oh my word. Luckily though, all good. E-key activated. Resurrection comes in, but a big pick from Spectre.
Alpha Yi heads are trembling. They're like, we're going to put all our eggs in the Alpha Yi basket. And
He's dead in the 1v2. Oh no. Well, Surmashed takes Dongan out of the skies. All right, now it's a 1v1 with the Echoes if they want to choose to take it. And, well, in amongst that, the point was Cat, Scott. So, Defiant off to a lovely start.
It's going to be very difficult to play a flying composition when you have Surmashed and Ultraviolet. Spectre can take you down. Hydron has range. Everyone has ways to deal with these flying heroes. So let's see if Alpha Yi can find any value. So far, they've really struggled. They went around the map, but weren't able to find any targets, and they're the ones who fell. Oh, the Javelin!
Flora, no! He fell off the map. Javelin lands. He used the Helix rockets there to damage himself, so Kalush doesn't get kill credit and ult charge for that. So pretty smart from Flora, but still
not that
died.
Smart. Yeah, let's not go too far.
He still died. That's a net neutral, right?
Yeah. Spectre is just deep, and then Alpha Yi once again just can't hold up to the amount of damage coming from the Defiant backline.
Kalush.
And this just hasn't been close so far, Jack. Wow.
Wow, Alpha Yi heads.
Dongan down.
Yeah, they might be hanging right now in a little bit of shame. I mean, Alpha Yi needs to carry. I mean, you need that from the Mercy pocket, right? I mean, if you're pocketing one player like this, you need them to pop off, and Alpha Yi has just been getting run around right now.
Yeah, because every time he goes aggressive, even though he has a Mercy pocket, it's just too much damage, right? This is the alarm.
He's just playing in the front line. I mean, a double tap from Surmashed will do it. Okay, there's the big kill. All right, Sticky Bombs kill, Ultraviolet. So not as much healing now available. But Mira's also going to have a tough time actually getting onto this composition from Toronto Defiant, Alfie's dead, punches the wall, Surma shed, the outburst, and then rips the ultimate too. Mira is so scared, has to back all the way up. Visor from Flora, that is a very angry Orisa you're looking at right now, but it's all right, he's done his job. Popped in the punch card, and he's good to go. 3 kills for Flora with the ult.
Yeah, big Visor there from Flora. Everything devolves, breaks down, and that's where Visor finds the most value. Oh, I didn't see anything.
Ignore that one.
Yeah, didn't see anything. Justice, they need to be able to find a way to sort of enable Alfie. So far, it feels like they haven't been able to take any positioning. Hydron switches over to the Tracer of all things as well. Maybe just seeing the direction that this game is going, thinking, hey, I don't want to be on a hero that doesn't have the mobility or the ability to duel as much as some of these other characters in the game.
There's a lot of damage on Spectra. Does not win the 1v2 this time around. Good Suni Rush on the point. The Washington Justice? No, they're just chilling. Bit of extra damage. Duplication is going to be quite large in this fight, Scott. You've got to imagine. You could even copy Alari.
Yep.
If you just throw down the little healing pylon, it does so much healing. You get a lot of ult charge, obviously, with the duplication.
Justice are putting a lot of resources into trying to hunt down Hydron. That sort of opened the door for Defiant to get into the fight.
Defiant's still poking away. Can even look for an entrance. Copy onto Kaluj, potentially.
Mira is so low. Has to use the Meteor Strike to just get out.
Yeah, Mira's going to have a tough job. I mean, the Doomfist is kind of crazy from him here, I will say.
Wow.
Alfie gets taken out. Good spear again from Kaluj. Ground in the guy. And Mira and Alfie are dead. Same with Dongan. 99%. I think that's just round. All right. A little bit of a whimper there from the Justice. And that kind of lost the fight just slowly.
And that's the thing that Toronto Defiant's composition is the best at. They want to take these slow fights. They want to just slow everything down, play from range, because eventually they will be the ones to find picks. While the Washington Justice, the only real person who can really offer anything in this situation is Alfie with the Mercy Pocket. All of their eggs in the Alfie Echo basket did not pay off on well. Let's see if they're going to double down as we head over to Lighthouse.
I think he even duped. Not meaningful in anyway, maybe just like quick.
I think he got taken down by the spear. I think you're right. He never even got the duke it off.
Yeah, so real rough there from the Justice. Toronto Defiant handling them like clay on a potter's wheel.
Now Mira's gonna come out on the Junker Queen, but they are going to double down on the Echo Mercy.
On the Kaluj. I mean, Kaluj rolling out with Diva here, that does shut down Dongan and Alfie a fair bit. You eat all those stickies. It's a whole lot less DPS you're getting down.
Yeah, he can also just go from the point to the high ground, back and forth, time and time again.
I mean, dude, they're just Alfie on Echo with Mercy Pocket. We go Diva and Hydron on Soldier, you can sit on high ground. What's Alfie going to do now?
You pair that with the Alari and the Ana as well. Oh, wow, okay, long range yeet of the Jagged Blade catches Hydron. Yeah. That's a huge opening from Mira.
Nice knife again. Oh, the outburst. Not perfectly timed there. Unfortunate from Surma. Knives are landing for Mira. Pretty nice. All right, Justice, take out the point.
I was questioning this Junker Queen. It sort of feels very out of place with the way the rest of the game is playing, but if he can keep doing that, I got no problems with it at all.
Keep using that Dragon Blade to drag people down from high ground.
Yep.
Got to be careful, though. Ultraviolet's on the Ana.
As I said, once again, Washington Justice, they're sort of standing around. They have the point, that's great. But Toronto Defiant, they're happy to sit on this high ground. They're the ones who are going to find the picks eventually.
All right, Kaluj going for a little reset there, using the thrusters to kill the little turrets. Got to kill all of them, yep. And then he goes in again, gets microwave. Does need a little bit of healing.
Nano boost up for Ultraviolet.
Yeah. Nano boost on Kaluj. I mean, you could just run someone over with the Diva. There's the Nano. Nade comes in too.
Huge.
Oh, massive nade. Flora and Mira, bright purple. And the Nano boost will do the rest.
Justice just can't be proactive in this situation, so that allows Ultraviolet is literally just standing in the open there, just like waiting for the nade. He's lining it up. He's lining up that.
I mean,
Nano
who pressures him?
Yeah, no one can pressure him other than the Alpha Yi Echo and the Donghun Mercy. But I just don't think we're really seeing that value. So just by existing, the Defiant are finding advantages.
There is coming up soon. A lot of ults for Defiant, in fact. Close.
There is 50% of the capture for the Washington Justice, so there is some value there. Oh, Ultraviolet getting very low.
Damage boost. Rush on the point to force the issue. Justice, got to be careful though. Pulse bomb in the hands. Spectra lands on the wall as Hydron does fall in the kill feed across the map.
The flip.
Point flip comes in, yep. A shout just keeping everybody alive on the point. I mean, that rush is too much to deal with. You can't go toe-to-toe with this rush. Good sleep on Alpha Yi. Oh, he glides down to the high ground, but it doesn't matter. There's the nade to kill Alpha Yi. Rampage comes out from Mirror and actually connects with Kaluj.
Smart play by Donghun. He actually baits going in for the res. Hydron pops the visor thinking he's going to be able to punish the res, but he actually doesn't go for it. So that's a wasted visor.
Oh,
Donghun!
Oh,
no.
Donghun, he's won! Nice chase down by Hydron, getting a little bit of revenge there for the visor usage. And the healing station. Oh, you're going to hit any shots? There's the two. Little 1v1 ego duel. Oh, Hydron not quite bathed in the Matrix just yet. However, Defiant still control the points, Scott, so they are building up time here. As Justice are making their way back slowly but surely.
Yeah.
They're not even going to go for the... Wow, Mirror doesn't even push out onto the point.
He doesn't have the support. If he tries to go that distance and the Toronto Defiant collapse, he might not be able to hold up to that damage. And funnily enough, Toronto Defiant feel like they've been in control of this map for the whole round, but because they are so stagnant with the high damage composition, they actually can't keep contesting the point because Kalush just keeps getting too low.
What?
Hydron with a random pick onto Alfie, who's made the switch over to Genji, though that's going to give them more time, and you can see Defiant are stepping up, encroaching on the Justice territory, trying to find another pick.
Yeah, I love the way Sermaged is playing Alari right now. Just no real fear. You know you've got the outburst to kind of get a little bit distance on people, plus you have Kalush right next to you, so if you do need to get Matrix, you can. And now you can see him backing up, okay. Had a Pulse Bomb go somewhere. Didn't find much. I think that was Spectrus. Nano Boost available. Ultraviolet again. There's the Nano. Thor's already dead. Now Kalush can just split the Justice. This pressure of the Nano is just too much. Alfie gets anti-naded, just pushed through by Kalush, so couldn't even jump to that mega health pack, even if he was able to get healed. And there's the Captive Sun. Oh, double detonation from Sermaged. 99% for Toronto Defiant. And there we go. Justice just not appearing right now. They're just invisible, missing MIA, 404. The Toronto Defiant just handling them so well.
Yeah, and this was just a compositional mismatch in my opinion. Really deciding to double down on the Echo Mercy, which it has some validity, but situations like that can happen where if your Echo just isn't able to find those picks, isn't able to find those value, that's 2 of your 5 players that you're committing to such a unique strategy. And that just leaves everyone else on an island. You could see Mirror just struggling to do anything because he doesn't have that support from the rest of his team. That's going to be the Washington Justice falling down to the first map, and Toronto Defiant handily in control of this series right now.
Oh yeah, Hybrid's the next map. Justice choice. I mean, the Toronto Defiant and play-ins, you've got to be a little bit scared. Obviously, they want to go to playoffs, fight on their home territory. How are the Justice really going to handle them?
And funnily enough, if you're the Washington Justice, if you go back to the series they played earlier today, Washington Justice, they actually went to Midtown on that series, and they fell to New York Excelsior playing the Toronto Defiant composition. So if you're the Washington Justice, you don't want to end up in that Mirror. You don't want to be putting Mirror over to the support and trying to go toe-to-toe with the Toronto Defiant if you're not confident against the New York Excelsior, let alone the team that everyone hails as the best at this style.
Oh man, yeah, that spear was beautiful by Kalush. Kalush is playing super well right now too.
Very well.
There's been a little bit of a unsung hero, I think, at least over the last few weeks because of how well Hydron and Spectre have been performing on DPS picks, but he is extremely solid. It makes the Toronto Defiant team just very well-rounded.
One of the major differences we've seen from Toronto Defiant as we head further into the season, everyone's like, it looks like a completely different team. You can see all of these players just so much more comfortable on the heroes that they're playing, and that's why they're playing at a different level.
Icon Valda, that was the choice by the Washington Justice, so no Midtown Scott. We're going to jump to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Map number 2, coming soon.
0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came for one man, forget about peace. We take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the.
Yeah, I hear him chat to the noise. Then stop for the talking. Like fire on the pine. If you wanna touch my.
Still one of my favorite intros, that is for sure. Toronto Defiant with a 2-0. There, Scott on the first map on control. I mean, looks like they can do it all, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody looked really good, and it wasn't like Toronto, I think, just kind of exploding out of the gate, just going crazy every single turn. It felt like Justice just couldn't really handle themselves, and especially against this guy right here, Sermajed. His Alari, potentially one of the best in the league right now. That's what everybody's saying currently.
More damage than healing really sums up Alari as a hero overall. And yeah, as you said, Sermajed really encapsulates his playstyle of he's able to put that pylon down and then forget about healing for the rest of the game, right?
He's got mad mechanics.
And he can hit these big shots, and that was one of the things that made it so difficult for the Justice to be able to sort of play this Echo Mercy because of the extra damage coming out of the supports. You know, like, once again, he's the one taking down this combo, and this is why the Toronto Defiant, you know, Marjed is one of the integral pieces. Everyone hasn't been able to stand up, especially with great ults like that.
It's like Alari, and the way she plays, at least, it's like, it reminds me of BAP, because if you're not doing damage as BAP, what are you doing? You need to be shooting, healing. With Alari, it's putting down the pylon, and then just like shoot. If you're not doing damage out there, you're doing something wrong. And honestly, Sermajed, like you said, more damage than healing in that game. A lot of that is because the rest of his team are pretty survivable too, so it just allows, it like literally unlocks a new talent, right? And you're just shooting at people, just allowed to do whatever, because Kaluj ain't dying on the Orisa here.
And the thing about it as well is like, hey, if you want healing, you gotta come to me. My healing range and my right click is super short.
Hey, you gotta come to me,
Yeah,
guys. I'm over here right now.
My pylon's over here,
Yeah,
I don't want to come to you.
Look, there's 2 places you could go, like, I've got another healer, like, they can heal you maybe. I'm just doing me, man.
Yeah, just talk to Ultraviolet, I'm not interested.
Talk to Ultraviolet, get that guy here. All right, Archinvaldor's the map. What's Washington Justice's pick?
Yeah, and this makes sense. You know, as I said, they just fell on Midtown, playing the exact same composition, so you'd want to avoid playing that map. So maybe they have something different. Interestingly enough, Mira hasn't come out of the lineup, so they aren't going to play the double shooter comp themselves. They don't want to take this Mira, and I think that is smart. You don't want to go up against something that you think you are at a disadvantage for. So the question becomes, can Washington Justice make the Junker Queen work against this like high damage output composition of the Defiant? Because that's why a lot of teams have been moving away from the Alari Baptiste. If you just play faster, you use the commanding shout from the Junker Queen, you use the Lucio speed
just
boost.
Get in there.
If you can get in the Alari space, all of a sudden, all that value we talk about you get from her doesn't exist.
You've only got 1 outburst.
Yeah. And it doesn't send you very far either, right? No. So, and Alari doesn't have self-healing. Once the pylon is gone, all the self-healing is out the window.
Yeah. It's got a fairly decent cooldown on that. All right, Toronto, out with the May, but Justice is calm. They are running Teru on at the Ana. Pretty decent pick from Teru, though. One of his better heroes, that is for sure.
Gives you the anti-nade. If you can hit a big anti-nade, there's almost nothing that Defiant can do to hold up to that, especially if you're Kaluj, right? One of the things that makes Orisa so survivable is you get in trouble, you can just spear spin or you can just fortify, but if you're anti-naded, you can't get healed back up.
Oh, there comes the charge. Sermajed pylon is down, so unfortunately, Sermajed, you will have to heal now.
They need to go faster.
Mira
Justice
is
are
getting
playing.
rolled.
They're taking too much damage, they don't have the healing, and all of a sudden they're the ones who are backing up.
Oh, hello, Kaluj. I didn't even see him walk over here. Nice anti on Kaluj, gets lammed though, Scott, and he was fortified, still ends up falling. Nice shots by Flora. There you go, okay. But look at the percentage, 90% on the first point already. A lot of that was Teru actually getting pressured out. There was a really weird angle and a really weird time where Mira just wasn't getting healed and they couldn't step up, and then Kaluj just knocked on the front door and appeared.
Yeah, I think Kaluj may be overstepping a little bit too much. If he had just stayed on the point, forced the low health Mira to touch the point, maybe they could have just captured it out that way. But nonetheless, great play from the Justice to be able to withstand the damage. And now they have the nano boost, now they have a sound barrier, they have the tools to deal with the Toronto Defiant and give them extra options to engage.
That's the big thing, if you're going against this shooter comp, right? You're having a lot of ultras, a lot of healing coming out, so a lot of ults.
Healing pylon down, go time.
And a boost. Uh-oh, well, there goes the lamp, there goes the protection. Alfie not getting kills just yet, but he definitely will now with the blade. Oh, Sermajed, just a 180 smack to the jaw, takes him out. Luckily though, Flora is there with the backup. Hydron falls in the skies as Toronto Defiant go for the reset again. 2 minutes to go, half the time bank gone.
He really didn't want to use that blade. When he engaged with the nano boost, he was hoping to get an instant execution, win the fight that way, but has to pop the blade eventually. So a tool out the window. But one of the things that you have to worry about if you're the Toronto Defiant, you don't have a defensive ultimate, and Mira now has the Rampage. If he hits lots of players with it and they lose the lamp, they're not going to have ways to get their health far back up.
Who's going to go down first? Well, it's Teru. Overclock's coming in. Laura can't quite find the shot. Luckily saved, though, by the sound barrier. Sniping Surmashed in the skies, but Surmashed, double explosion again. That captive sun, his accuracy is just unparalleled.
Hydron busts it wide open, pops the overclock. He's the one who finds the value. Once Teru's down, Justice don't have the healing to be able to hold up, especially after a great captive sun from Surmashed. And you can see the Defiant recognizing how valuable it is to get in position. They're trying to take this high ground instantly, leaving, I believe, that Surmashed back on the point to push it alone.
He's probably feeling pretty sad because he's not shooting people.
Yeah, guys.
Uh-oh. Justice are making moves, though.
Great play.
They are moving to the payload.
Great recognition from the Justice. Forced the Defiant to come back to the cart.
Spencer's got Blizzard, though. Do not get a deflected challenge. Oh, right on the feet of Mira. He's going to get frozen. A very quick and clean kill onto the tank. And there goes Flora too. A nice positional advantage there. The Justice had just backing up to the payload, knowing Defiant had taken the high ground. But, I mean, the Blizzard is just such a tough thing to deal with in those small corridors. And I love the way Spectre played that too. He did not give a chance for Mira to use Shout to get out or even it to be deflected, right?
He also just realizes, I don't need to catch multiple people with this. If I can get Mira, the rest of the dominoes will fall. So now, once again, Toronto Defiant take the high ground, and now Justice can't do that strategy of just running to the cart.
Terror Surge. Oh, just pulled in there. Gotta be careful. You know he's got ult, right? All good.
They have window as well, so there's just so much damage that the Justice have to walk into.
Nanoblade coming up, though.
Very
Justice. 10% away is Alpha E. Could go for a Nano and a dash if he so chooses, but this Terror Surge could put an end to that as well. There's the Nano, there's the Blade, no Terror Surge, Miss Spear 2, just dashes straight past Kaluge. 3 kills for Alpha E, well 2 and a few summons. We'll call it 3 though. Washington Justice just chunking through Surmashed, eventually goes down. Similar situation Toronto Defiant are in right now. 2 minutes to go, that payload close to that second point.
The split-second decision-making that you see from these Genji players is phenomenal. Like, his ability to recognize the targets and be able to pick them one by one, Alfie, damage is done. The biggest issue you have to deal with now is there's so many ultimates coming up for Defiant. Both DPS ultimates. Kaluge is going to have the Terror Surge. He can also combo that with the Alari Captive Sun, pull everyone in, hit them with the Captive Sun, boom, 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 boom. Everything else will follow.
Flora taking a lot of damage. Right, they're just going to run to the point. Looks like Surmashed's taking a small off angle. Hydron is chilling in the back line. Uh-oh, might be a little bit frosty up in here now. That Blizzard used pretty aggressively. But look at Teru. He's in a whole lot of trouble. He's only got Flora to protect him, and he doesn't end up protecting him at all. Flora taken out by Kaluge. Kaluge, a little 2v1, and comes out on top. That Blizzard just used to split everybody. Oh, nice little spear onto Alpha E. They're pushing the point as well, Scott. Justice needs a touch. Here's the Captive Sun. Straight onto the front line. Donovan has to go for some sort of touch here. He is only a little Lucio after all. Got turned into a black hole there as he's just disintegrated by that Captive Sun ultimates. And Toronto Defiant, they put that payload into the second point, and third, very much on the horizons now.
And they're getting staggers as well, Jack, so the first half of this third point is going to come to for free for them. But once again, Mira with the Rampage wasn't able to find value last time. Let's see now that we're in these small indoor corridors if he can find something better.
Oh man. It's already rough from Dong in there because he had to use his beat too. Where's at least got an ultimate.
That's the Alari damage right there. He's a Hanzo and he's going up against a support character.
Rampage. Oh, and he hit Kaluge. He just goes golden, or I guess chrome red in this instance. Dong and Amira are already dead. Teru's got Nano. Alpha E with 10% towards the Blade. Defiant haven't got much, but Justice needs to come out of spawn. They need to get these ults online. Is Teru just going to Nano Alpha E coming out the gates? Flora's there to touch, but is anybody else there? No, not at all. That Nano boost, that Nano Blade was so close.
For me, it was the Mira Rampage. It felt like came so early into that fight, and he only hit the one target you don't want to hit, which is the Orisa, right? Yeah. You're not going to bring down an Orisa with a Rampage. You need to be hitting the backliners.
And there too, I mean, you saw Kaluj kind of stepping up, kind of knows what side of the spawn Teru was on, and Kaluj just stood at the door.
Yeah.
And so the nano from Teru, sure, it hits Alpha Yi. What is Alpha Yi going to do? He has to dash through the Orisa, but then spear spinning, javelin, like
Everything.
Kaluj has just shut that door, locked it with the key, thrown it away. It's tough in that situation, even with no ults. Orisa's just such a hard character to get past. Well, we'll see what Defiant want to do on the deep. Well, okay, of course they're playing that. How the Justice really going to tackle this on the offense? Are they just going to run Teru on Ana again?
I don't, as much as the Ana is nice, I don't think you have that same level of healing that you can get from a Baptiste. That instant healing that you get from the regenerative burst is really what makes Baptiste great, plus the AoE healing. You saw actually a great example of that on the first point when Mira got incredibly low and Teru just can't keep his health bar up, plus you lose that lamp. So I feel like I'd prefer to see Teru stick to the Baptiste. That's what works, but right now, one of the biggest issues they're dealing with is they just can't hold up to this damage coming out from Defiant. Sermajet and Ultraviolet in the backline, just keeping everyone alive while doing so much damage.
So much. I mentioned before, but get a lot of support ultimate charge, which is great. Uh-oh, Hydron in trouble. Yep, they're hunting him down. Nice healing though coming out. Again, a lot of healing too, right?
Yeah.
That beam onto Hydron didn't fall below 80%, and now Flora's in trouble. Does get lamps. Nice lamp on the corner too. Is going to save the entire team. A little bit of percentage on the point
up
too.
And you can see the AoE healing automatically from Teru.
Oh wow, Mira got rolled. Kaluj just threw a spear at him, and Sermajet did the rest. Nice little outburst there, actually, just pushing everybody away.
Yeah.
Capsizing the ship, that is the Justice right now. Oh, nice little shot. 2 ticks, though, Scott.
You can just see how much damage Sermajet is doing. He just melted Mira in that fight. There's nothing he can do.
And as soon as that pylon goes down as well, like on this clock tower, super tough to take care of.
Yeah, because someone has to deal with it, but no one really has the freedom. When you're in this like chaotic fight, everything's going everywhere. It's hard to look around and find the pylon.
It's not like Torpto, which you can just ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You have to deal with it. Oh, nice wall. Didn't quite land on the teleport, but stop them from going through it at least.
Something worth noting as well.
Oh, window spear. Nice deflect from Alpha Yi. Deflects the spear. I don't think it connected, but it looks cool.
Pylon down.
Oh, here's the captive sun. Oh, you see Alpha Yi just disappearing into the into the skies there, dodging Sermajet. I mean, Mira's dead too. Justice with 2 minutes to go. We're gonna have to go for a reset. Just one ultimate expended by Defiant, and they got a whole lot of them left.
More staggers as well as they push towards the Washington Justice's spawn, and this is just so much damage. It really feels hard for the Justice to accomplish anything, and we spoke about it heading into this series. If Alpha Yi doesn't show up in a big way, it feels like the Justice don't have that punching power, and so far, Alpha Yi has been kind of missing.
Yeah, he needs to be the finisher here with this blade. There's no nano to couple with it too, so... Oh, are they really going to do it to him?
Oh yeah, as soon as they spot Mira,
TP.
Blizzard's coming down.
Yeah, sure, why not? Just eat the Blizzard. Wall comes in, Flora in trouble. I mean, the beat comes out, and so with the lamp, but Flora's already dead. Hydron with a visor, just, yeah, unfortunately shooting the Symmetra right now. And now he's taking the flank. Here comes the blade. Alpha Yi finds one. Here's the carry that you need, Justice. He's just swinging away. He's helping Mira clean up these fights. There's 2 kills for the Genji, but is it going to be enough? He is so low with no heals, and Kaluj is going to chase him down. And there we go. There is the kill. Kaluj alive and well, but not before Dongan just donks on his head. Nice one from Spectre. He might buy enough to... not quite, no. No one can get back there. They had 2 ticks anyway. Justice capped the first points.
And there's the Alpha Yi that we know and love and that they need in this series. Able to find blade value against everything that Defiant have. Yeah, without the nano boost, without anything else, but the damage was done, even if he did eventually fall. Now Mira has that rampage, but this is where it's going to get hard. Where Ultraviolet, Hydron, and Sermajet, they're able to just sit down here, raining damage, and Alpha Yi peeks his head and instantly evaporates.
That pylon spot should just be illegal. Like, they're just sitting on the doors. Like, look where it is. Like, how do you destroy that?
If you go up into that hallway, maybe you can shoot through the window.
Probably could. I think it's like weirdly clipped onto the window frame, so go up to the height, you know, it's just... It's very rough. You just need a big ultimate to run out the gate with here. They have the Rampage, but you're only hitting Kalush.
Yeah, but what are you running at? That's exactly it. You're running at a Mei or a Orisa, two terrible targets, because the Mei can block, the Orisa can fortify. Meanwhile, everyone else is spread out.
Oh, she blocked. We're killing the pylon. There it is through. Oh, what a wall! Ultraviolet does go purple though, and Alfie cleans him up. But look at this flank angle here from Hydron. Just the off angles are just crazy from this team too. You want to just jump on Ultraviolet. You want to jump on Surmashed. And you saw the game plan there from Mira. Just jump through the window, sure, I'll use Rampage, and then Hydron's just destroying the rest of your team. Now Mira switched over to the Orisa, decides it's now time to match them in the mirror.
And Ultraviolet ended up being that one target that they chose, but then as you said, Hydron has the off angle, Surmashed has the off angle. You can't deal with all three threats at once. It's just so difficult to get through this choke. Alfie is walking up the left side, but this is Hydron's territory. This is what he's covering. He's covering this off angle.
Well, you haven't got deflect. I don't know if you're aware. Yeah, goodbye, Alpha Yi. And there's the captive son just to top it all off. There's Blizzard too.
Yeah, there's a lot of ultimates.
That was an overinvestment for sure. Ooh, nice headshot.
Yeah.
They're going to chase him down.
They're going to hunt Flora. They want him.
Oh, they want him. No, Flora. Oh, he slides away. All good, maybe. Now Mira is trying to hunt Hydron. Hydron behind you.
Hydron
behind you. Oh, he gets speared. Not good. Not good. 4v5 now. As Justice trying to make a pick, but holding forward are the Toronto Defiant. Already used the lamp. Surmashed finally taken care of. There you go. Okay. Point is opened up, Scott. But my word.
A little bit of hubris there from Defiant, trying to sort of continue those staggers. So now they use all those ultimates that we talked about in the previous fight, which felt like an overcommitment. And now they also don't have the positioning that they once had. So this has to be the window that Justice are going to be able to push this second point all the way through.
He's on the Torb. Spectra on Torb. Let's go. The summons comp.
Yeah, Mei's just going to be hard to find walls. Look at how open everything is. Now, it seems like the Justice have been more than willing to give up the high ground.
Good turret spot. Just going to dominate. Watch this. Okay, it's not doing much right now, but that's because they're not in range.
Any moment now, the turret's going to shoot something.
Any moment. I've got battle from Flora. There's the sound. Oh,
Two dead already.
Alpha, you're dead. Oh, Dongen. That sound barrier just so late. You see the turret winning against the Sojourn. Very epic.
I should have trusted you, the Torb specialist, about the Torb positioning.
That's what I'm saying. 20 seconds to go, Scott. Gets a kill on the Dongen. You take. And now they can just hold close.
Yeah, and 12 seconds, and Washington Justice need to make it all the way to the cart.
Dongen spawns last. They got ults. Alfie double dash with the blade. Gets to the touch. Ultraviolet is dead. Here it is. There's the blade. Kalush is standing in front of it, but he instantly gets taken out. Turret MVP once again. Spectre coming up large. And there is the slam. That Terror Surge just separating the rest of the team, but now Kalush is in trouble.
Winnable.
Captive Sun just detonates, but are they going to be able to take care of Mira? Luckily, Surmashed's on the high ground, but Kalush and Hydron are already dead. Again, their own hubris, Scott, I think.
I have no idea.
A little bit too aggressive for the Toronto Defiant, potentially there.
I have no idea how Ultraviolet fell to Teru before that fight even really feel like it began. But once again, Washington Justice don't care.
Here? Okay, Yubi's dead.
Oh, so much gets Dongen.
Okay, they do end up touching.
Surmashed
gets another one. Surmashed with 2 kills. Now here comes the backup. Molten Core, 3 kills for Surmashed. Make it more. Mira low, dies to the Molten Core, and there you go. Toronto Defiant. Match point against the Washington Justice. History right now very much repeating itself.
If that's not an example of the deadly nature of Surmashed and Ultraviolet, I don't know what is. Both supports in a position they have no right being end up managing to take down 3 or 4 players to close that out, and Washington Justice seem to have no answers to everything the Defiant are throwing at them.
Defiant looking good. They know a spot at the Grand Finals, at playoffs, is on the line. They've got to make it through this play-ins bracket, and it is a scary one. But if you keep playing like this, play the comp you're comfortable with, and have Surmashed just go on these wacky flanks and picking up kills, might be too easy.
Yeah, it might be too easy, and you can see all the Justice players getting out of their chairs. They need to be able to reset.
Big reset.
For me, I think if you're the Justice, you can reset with the idea of we're going over to Flashpoint, we're going over to Push. These are maps in which I think the Lucio is going to get more value than, you know, playing something like Eichenwald where you're walking into these sort of shooting setups. But maybe that's not going to be enough, especially because they're going to end up at map 5 at some point where they're going to have to play Escort, and that's really where the Toronto Defiant composition thrives.
Yeah, I love Luce's pick. It really does just help teams get the best maps they want to get if they end up losing right. and it also exposes these weaknesses, which right now, Justice showing. Ooh, that's good.
The big fear for me is that it hasn't been particularly close. It hasn't like it's been back and forth and it's just a couple of things. It just doesn't ever feel like Justice are in these fights, other than when they have these big ultimate combos, or we talk about, wow, look at that
What a
wall.
wall, yeah.
Spectre's just such a good player, very flexible as well.
I can't believe he got picked up halfway through the year.
A lot of people are saying, like, can I vote for this guy for Rookie of the Year? He's barely even been in the league, but he's put those levels of performance. That was the pick on Donghun.
Oh, and then Alpha E's just caught. Yeah, Alpha E didn't even know he was there.
Forces Lamp, takes out the Lamp, then also takes out a Terry. That's just big plays from Sir Majed.
3 headshots there for Sir Majed at the very end. You can see why people are saying he's probably the best in the league right now. Maybe potentially best in the world at Alari. No pick yet from Justice, taking
thinking
their
about
time.
it.
Yeah, thinking about it. I mean, you get a little bit of time here between the maps, so at the end of the day, Flashpoint is a very volatile game mode still, and you're right. I think the Lucio is going to work out well for them. Looks like, okay, we're going to Suravasa. That's their pick, but they're on the ropes. This could just be a 3-0 if Toronto Defiant have their way.
Yeah, you have to lean into your own strengths. Play the Lucio, play the Junker Queen. Know how you can utilize this. These are very open maps for Flashpoint. Suravasa is a very open map. Play to your strengths.
Match point for Toronto. We're going to be right back. Can they just end it out here and now? We'll have to wait and see after this. Welcome back. Toronto Defiant up 2 maps already. I know, it's been a pretty quick series so far. Ike about a little 3-1, you know the vibes. Washington Justice, they're just not really here right now. It doesn't feel like the same Justice we saw earlier.
I don't want to discredit the performance of the Defiant as well, because like this is a team that a lot of us are saying, if things stay the same way, if this remains the meta, Defiant are a terrifying team to play against. If they're able to really prove that they can keep playing Alari and teams don't have answers to it, it's almost very similar to the way that London Spitfire play, just in a different way.
Sure.
They're doing something on every single map that other people just don't really seem to have an answer to. And right now, Justice are the ones who just don't have an answer for what they're dealing with.
Anything that Toronto Defiant are throwing at them right now. I mean, a lot of it is just Majed on the flank with a Alari. Just shooting people. Yeah, he's just shooting people. He is clicking people's heads. Surabasa is the map choice for Washington Justice. Took a little bit of time there to actually think about where they wanted to go. I mean, it is double elimination bracket, Scott. Something worth keeping in mind. So we won't be saying goodbye to people just yet, you know, just chill out for a little bit.
And there's always a chance that Washington Justice will fare better against other teams playing similar compositions, right, who will end up playing this Junker Queen.
Right.
But for right now, they have to deal with the task ahead of them, and that's the Toronto Defiant. And as I was talking about before we went into the break, it's very difficult to not play Lucio on Flashpoint, because your ability to maneuver around the map, you're just so slow. If you lose a player or just running back to the point, that's adding more time, that's adding more percentage for the opposition. So the Washington Justice can get into control on this map. They can easily snowball it into more advantages.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see how Justice roll out. Okay, yeah. Not too surprised here with the comp, but it will be a slower start for the Defiant. Obviously, we know Lucio, but I mean, Hydron has done this stuff in the past, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is how Hydron plays when he's on Soldier on Flashpoint. All he does is flank. That's the only thing he does. He just harasses the backline, tries to make them burn cooldowns, and then just hopes Defiant can either find a pick in the front line or just survive, which is what happens most of the time.
And we've seen him do this and be punished for it in the past, where he gets overzealous and then Donghun and Alfie end up double teaming him. But you can see some adjustments coming out of here.
Surmajed's 2v1ing them right now.
Yeah.
Floor in a little bit of trouble. Surmajed 2v1ing the backline. Oh, nice reflect. Straight back in the head of Surmajed. And there you go. Point has been unlocked. Toronto Defiant are in control currently, but they are down people. And being down mirror is not the best for Justice, but I mean, with Alfie alive, there shouldn't be too much of a problem here. And there you go. Only 20+% on the board for Defiant after that fight go down. But I mean, if Surmajed kills Alfie there, that is a very different story.
Hydron's like, that's
that
actually
is
really
a
bad.
bad pick.
Because not only that is that pick, all of a sudden Justice are going to have to
There
concede
goes
the point.
Oh, Mira back on the Doomfist.
I like this. I really like this Doomfist pick. It works quite well against the Alari and the Baptiste. He just needs to be able to stay alive. That's the issue when you play Doomfist, is you can just take too much damage. Like he's
Speaking of which,
needs healing.
Yeah.
And while he's waiting to get healed, they potentially might lose the point. He contests once again, gets low once again.
Has to go into power block, and then you have to back up. Kalush can also save Spear for power block.
Yeah. If he gets knocked out of that power block, he loses a lot of his advantages. Flora falls once again.
Yeah. It's just such a rough matchup. Doom is very much a comfort hero and has always been, even when Doom was a DPS for Mira. But, you know, comfort versus the Orisa, it's really rough.
And I think you also lose out on the commanding shout that the Junker Queen has, which is really the thing that enables this composition. Flora 1v1. Gets it over Hydron.
Yeah.
There's the window opening for Washington Justice.
All right, 4v5. Hydron's going to be back in a moment, though. He has got that sprint. Played for Alfie. Does pull it. Gets spooked. Has to deal with Lamp. Sound Barrier is going to help him sustain through this, but look at the healing coming out of Surmajed. Alfie just lost Ultraviolet there. Maybe going for a crazy deflect, but no. Cooldown not available, sadly. Surmajed does light one person up as Alfie tries to grab that health pack. 99% for Toronto Defiant on the point as Miro does find the flip in the end, but they're still losing people. Hydron is back, takes care of Teru, and well, you can rip the overclock, but have you got space? Have you got anything to back you up, Flora? I don't think so. As Defiant find the flip once more in the fight. So chaotic. But they end up getting the point regardless. And there you go, 1 on the board for Defiant.
Who would win, unlimited energy or one giant horse running at you that's gold? And it turns out to be a golden horse. That's what Orisa does best. If you can get in someone's face, they don't really have the tools to deal with you. And Justice committed a lot of their ultimates to try and turn that fight. They only have the ultimate for Doomfist right now. I guess on the other side, Toronto Defiant also coming up short with ultimates.
Molten Core available for Spectre pretty soon. So rough for Mirror to get in. I mean, now he can just kind of get in on the back line, hit Meteor Strike if he gets in trouble. Maybe even find a pick. Alpha E loses the 1v1 on the side. Dongan getting pushed away, Shed with a little stray light shot. There you go.
It doesn't feel like Mirror's able to find the value on this Doomfist right now. It feels like he's always in damage control rather than providing himself to be an offensive threat.
Orisa's a straight up counter to Doomfist.
Yeah. So you have to wonder why he's made this switch. Maybe just thinks this is the only way forward.
Go on, Spectre. Show us what you got.
And you can see...
Alfie's 1 HP.
Yeah, Alfie is...
He is dead.
Alfie, every time he steps up, he just takes too much damage, and then Mirror's doing the same thing. He steps up, has to use the Meteor Strike to get out.
Yeah. We're on 50%. Late picks here. Onto Justice is devastating. Kalush safe with the lamp, luckily. Terror Surge available, but he can just hide around the corner. Doesn't need to worry about the window all too much. If he wants, he can just spear, spin away. Perfectly played by Kalush, playing very much on the knife's edge there. Just the Orisa kit used to its fullest. Alfie just tracks through the skies. Terror Surge is big. Dongan down. 80% for Defiant. Even the Captain Sun thrown in. Kalush finds 2 kills. No chance for Justice to get back to the point in time. That's going to be 2. I mean, what do you do for your Justice? That's 2 points collected by Defiant. They're about to just clean sweep him, Scott. Mirror now switching over to Orisa.
Yeah, but it almost feels too late, and at this point, one of the big issues that I feel like the Justice are having is they just don't team fight better than the Defiant. You can see Defiant look like they want to try and catch the Justice off guard. It has been spotted.
Sneaky beaky like.
And Defiant are going to be the ones who get to set up on the point once again, even though they don't have the speed boost.
It's a good point as well, but Mr. Hydron.
Wait for Alpha.
Molten Core coming out, stops Mirror running forward, takes a little bit of damage from it too. Alpha E defending a little bit of that, but look at this. On the sidelines, Hydron using the visor. Blade does come out eventually for Alpha E, but can he find more than just one? Yes, he does. Backline down. Still has to deal with the Torb though in the front line. He's rather sustainable on his own. Here you go, here's the kills. Yes, all right. Defiant. They end up falling. They do expend a fair few ultimates there too, but the sound barrier used and the blade to make that fight Justice's, and they get the point too.
Much needed stabilization. Flora with the overclock now.
This is going to be big. It has to be big.
Well, they also have the amplification matrix, so there's going to be a lot of damage coming the other direction for the Defiant. How do they want to approach into this one? Historically, they've played very slowly. They just set up Kalush, makes himself a threat. Oh wow, Justice are going aggressive.
I mean, everybody's not really in range right now.
Yeah, they just didn't catch the Defiant.
Oh wow, what a flank by Ultra. Well, not really a flank, he's just right in front of him. Just catches Alpha E, carry down. Captive Sun used, takes care of that lamp, and this window damage from Shed too. Woo. 3 taps Flora, and Dongan falls. The point is going to get capped. Teru dead, and now Defiant in control.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like Justice are able to use their advantages. Flora goes over to the Bastion. I like this idea, maybe giving you a little bit more damage, so Kalush has to respect you a little bit more. Alfie to May, yeah, this doesn't feel like this is things that they're practice. It's more just, we have to throw whatever we can at the wall and hope something sticks.
Right. Feels like they don't. Ideally, in an ideal scenario, they don't want to play this, but see how it does. Can't really duel either with Hydron on the sidelines anymore, which is kind of frustrating.
See the concave the Defiant are trying to make while Kalush anchors on the point.
I mean, Jet not doing healing, that's for sure. Just doing damage. Mirror dead. They're just going to push him off the map. Why not? No. Goodbye, Bastion. Goodbye, Justice. Final fight now. Any staggers here. Again, they're just too big. Dongan down last as well with 2% towards that beat. They're not going to be able to touch Scott.
Symmetra for Flora, Doomfist for Mirror.
Nah, it's not happening.
It's not going to be enough.
What a spear! I think that spear just did it. It stops Mirror from getting back in the point in time. No, oh no! Just that one spear was enough, and there you go. Washington Justice completely shut out of the series. That was not close. Defiant making their way through the upper bracket, Scott. Playoffs in their sights in their hometown.
Defiant looking as strong as ever, while the Washington Justice, we were hoping after their win against the New York Excelsior, that could be the beginning of their play-ins run. They will have another chance going through the lower bracket, but that was just not a close series. Defiant really proving they are just a better team.
Little yawn there from Kalush. I mean, honestly, with how that went, Can you blame him?
Another day at the office for him. And honestly, he's playing Orisa. He's literally just standing in the front line, just like spinning his spear, fortifying,
He's
throwing a spear every now and then.
I mean, I loved how well they shut down Alpha Yi. They know he is the threat, and Alpha Yi was like forward a lot of those times. And there was a point where Alpha Yi was dueling out, just wanting to get ult charge, get blade quicker, and then Kalu's like, you just stepped into a small room.
Yeah.
You have no deflect. I have a deflect, and it's my spear. And he just pressures Alpha Yi so much, and it feels like Alpha Yi was just trying to make these plays, but Toronto Defiant were just shutting them down just time and time again. A just absolute shutout, a 3-0. Player of the match this series, however, Toronto Defiant, who's it gonna be? Oh,
Of course.
of course it's Alfie.
He has been the difference maker for this Toronto Defiant squad. It's what makes them unique. They're fully committing to the Alari, and you can understand why when you see how many multi-kills that Sermage gets. You look at the end of Eichenwald where he literally turned that map for them to lock it in and solidify. You're actually going to see it right here on your screen. Look at these picks. Ultraviolet falls. That's a nasty shot onto the Lucio. Follows up with Alpha Yi. What do? This is a support character that's just running through your team.
All the DPS players right now, this is a support character. I was doing so much damage. Well, I was doing so much damage because Mageda's got cracked mechanics, that's how. And his interview the other week as well was just like, well, you have ult, just rip it. Every single time you got it up, just throw it out, because even if you find one pick, if someone else can half shoot that target, they're gonna detonate, they're gonna get instantly killed, and then you can just roll on the fight from there. And look at the eliminations.
What are these rookie numbers? He didn't do more damage than healing, Marjan. I'm disappointed in you, buddy. Come on.
20 elims per 10. 3 deaths, but the guy's just...
8.2 final blows per 10 minutes. That is ridiculous for a support character. We haven't seen the likes of this kind of bloodthirsty support in the Word of Dominance, since Jonak on Zen in 2018.
Right. Yeah, wow. Alari very much in the wheelhouse of Sermajev right now, and Toronto Defiant still in the upper bracket. I mean, this is looking scary. You got Boston up there, you got London, Toronto Defiant looking great. The Washington Justice, like you mentioned, tumbling down, unfortunately, to that lower bracket. And there are some scary teams down there as well. You got to face the shock at some point. We're going to toss to the break. Don't go anywhere. We got them to wrap out the day, or wrap out the day?
Wrap out the day? Yeah.
Wrap out the day. See you in a bit.
Welcome back. One last time for today. This was day number 1 of our play-ins. We already said goodbye to 1 team, and 2 more teams are now dropped into the lower bracket, whereas the other 2 will make a continuous run through the upper bracket of the play-in bracket, just to say bracket about as often as I possibly can in one sentence. We are back on the desk, of course, to break down all the action that just transpired. Danny?
I'm just saying, it wasn't close. I was wrong. Just Toronto Defiant were just the better team. They were clean with it.
But in your heart, you knew it. You knew that.
Even all of us were wrong in the sense of I don't think no one thought it was going to be like this kind of a domination.
I don't think it was going to be 3-0. Yeah, they were dominant.
I think Toronto. It's incredible to see the same style from Toronto and New York, where Justice just cleans up New York so easy, and then Toronto does even stronger, like an absolute beatdown on Justice. Toronto's like making their own meta.
They really are, just like the London Spitfires. So it's been incredible to watch them play in today's match, and I'm very excited, of course, to see more of them moving forward in the play-in bracket. But for now, let's actually chat to the winner. We, of course, have Kalush standing by. So first of all, congratulations on the first W in the play-ins. How do you feel?
I feel great, thank you. I was kind of stressing a little bit because our last match didn't go so easy, so I'm glad we got the 3-0 today.
So, Kalush, I want to ask you a little bit more about your thoughts on this meta in particular. You've been pushed into, you've been a meta Winston player, you've been meta Ryan player, playing all these flex roles for the team. It's a necessity sometimes. But this is a meta now where I feel like you're really able to shine, able to be like that tip of the spear, literally sometimes on Orisa. And how does that feel to be in the role where now you're actually able to just carry the game the way I think fans have been waiting to see?
It feels awesome. I mean, these are the heroes I'm stronger at. Orisa really was not my strongest hero, but we started scrims and I just hit every single spear, and my cooldown usage is pretty good. And I got a good group of guys around me too. They make it a lot easier to play all these different heroes. So, yeah.
So I wanted to touch on the meta a little bit here, because obviously you've been preferring these Orisa compositions, but we've seen other teams like Washington Justice bring out the Junker Queen, for example. But other really good teams like Atlanta Reign play a lot of Junker Queen as well. We saw that from them. Boston Uprising against the LA Gladiators. So you're still sticking with the Orisa compositions, even on a game mode like Flashpoint, and I recognize you just dominated Washington. Even on a game mode like Flashpoint, do you not really feel any incentive to start bringing in some Rush compositions and start bringing in some Junker Queen compositions? Or are you just completely satisfied playing Orisa and Illari for the moment?
I think we're satisfied with the Orisa comp, because what we do is like we'll take fights wide, and it makes it really easy for us. These teams play Lucio, they have to push into us. You know, obviously they're gonna get like 1 or 2 more fights, but I think our heroes allow us to take like the 1 or 2 very strong fights. So it's just like whatever your team's like better at. I don't know. But right now we're rocking out with the Illari.
All right, so your next match is against Vancouver Titans. It's actually a rematch of Battle for Canada, and last time you guys won. Are you expecting anything different from Vancouver? Because last time you guys fought them, you know, you guys won against them.
I'm expecting probably like a different comp. Like maybe they swap to the Orisa Lucio now instead. But yeah, I mean, we get to play these guys 3 times in a row, just like Washington. You know, they keep throwing different stuff at us, but we come out on top. So hopefully it's a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely excited to watch that one. Last question for you. Obviously, you're coming in to the play-ins with confidence, expecting to make it out and into the playoffs. Which do you think is the other most likely team to join you on that journey?
Weirdly enough, I think London, man. London is really strong for some reason. Like the Rush meta, you know, they got like they've been playing the Rhine comp for 2 years now. So this is just a culmination of like a good meta for them and them like having super crazy synergy on the comp.
All right, it's got to pay off eventually, right? If you hard commit for 2 years, and eventually your time will come.
Yeah, I think the time's here, so.
Exactly. Well, we're excited for everything to come here in the play-ins bracket. Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck in your matches.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Right, Kalush from the Toronto Defiant. They are 1 round closer to making the playoffs, and in a dominant fashion as well. So let's relive the match we just got to saw once more and talk a little bit about some of the highlights, maybe also lowlights. I mean, Washington Justice, is there anything you feel like they have to switch up for their matches coming up?
I don't think you can for Justice. At this point, I think they're
late in the game.
Like a lot of teams, they've found their niche. I think they're better to stick to it. Very few teams, honestly, no one has played this comp as well as Toronto has. So even if you're going to lose to Toronto, you can just hope that Toronto qualifies in the upper bracket and you can beat everybody else. And for Justice, I just don't think there is a brighter comp. I think this is what maximizes their strengths. They just have to find a way to win with it, because I think you're better off sticking to your guns. If you just change things up now at the last second, yes, you have a week to figure it out, but I think I'd be a little bit worried for Justice.
I mean, speaking more about the Washington Justice, I think one of the good things here now is that hopefully you don't have to play Toronto Defiant again. I mean, we'll see what happens in the upper bracket. But Toronto Defiant is really the only team left that forces this kind of Orisa composition, right? So if you feel confident already in your Junker Queen composition and you can trust Alfie to play this Genji, maybe you have a better chance against teams like the San Francisco Shock, for example, against teams like Vancouver Titans. We'll see who they end up playing. It is pretty likely that you might see Toronto Defiant in the lower bracket again, so I'm not going to count that out. But if you are the Washington Justice, you can't look at this matchup and just be down on yourself, because you know that there are so many other teams in this play-ins that play other stuff. London Spitfire, for example. Like, you didn't lose against London Spitfire in this one. You didn't lose against the Junker Queen composition in this one. So you can't bring this negativity from this match into those other matches. So Washington Justice, you got a really nice win against New York Excelsior. Maybe some good stuff to take from that, but don't feel too down on yourself because you got 3-0 dominated by, you know, the best Illari player in the league.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto Defiant, they were cruising through that match against the Washington Justice, and you too can cruise with the legendary Biker 76 skin. This gives me a lot of feelings, I'm not gonna lie.
This is actually dope.
Look, I didn't know that I like biker skins, but here we are. I guess I'm.
It's a good meta. So Soldier 76, he is in. Get your rank points now. Play this hero. Very strong.
Yeah, he got legs, but also wheels now apparently. Biker 76 on sale right now, so definitely a must grab. And now it is also a time for us to not just look at the best skins, but also just some of the best moments that we had today. And honestly, I feel like match number 1 had it all. We got the all chat, we got sick plays, we got an incredible post-game interview. I think that one, just like the entirety of it, has just been an absolute highlight reel. But first things first, Alpha Yi.
Yeah.
What was the reason? He was the reason you had to go with Washington Justice.
I'm sorry, Danny.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
No,
that's why he got his own best of the day.
Yeah, like I mean, after watching this match, after what Alpha Yi did to New York Excelsior, I think it was, it's why I kind of had to go with Washington Justice against Toronto.
It's so good.
This guy against New York just went crazy on them, and on that Genji play, just all throughout the series, he was just
Watching Genji is the best. Genji highlights are just undefeated.
Yep.
There's so much fun to dash resets.
I'm so glad we got to hear that interview from Kalush, because one of the things he highlighted was that them playing wide this style, like look at what all these blades, he's always finding grouped up players. Yeah. He's cutting through them one after the other. They're all in one spot. And you contrast that with the game against Toronto, where constantly split up. Alpha Yi was could never find that opening to dash through everybody, get a huge blade. So many times he's chasing down one player who runs away and then another one comes to cover him. So it just really shows for me the difference in how difficult it is to execute against a top team like Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, our next one is one I alluded to first before we saw, Alpha Yi just doing Alpha Yi things, being built different. Sorry, I'm not buying into it. I called it a C18. Some people called it a C36. I think we can all agree on a C27 for sure.
It's a reasonable average.
This one's nice.
This one is
C9.
bad. This is a C9.
How about this one? What do you guys say for this?
I feel like this is London outplaying super hard.
Yeah.
This is like, you got pinned and booped.
C9. How about this one?
This is a mega C9. This is a mega C9 situation.
So
you're winning the fight.
Where's the 27?
Oh my.
Well, that middle one. There was also the end of second point. And I feel like those were both half
debatable.
What?
Yeah, okay.
They were both C4.5s on point 1 and point 2 of London's attack.
9 times 3 is 27?
Yeah.
So why are you saying it's not a C27?
No, because
It's not really. I think
I'm
it's a C18.
contesting the legitimacy of some of these C9s, guys.
If you minus
I
9 out of 27, what is it?
Wait, we're not minusing anything. It was 3 C9s.
But it wasn't though.
It wasn't 3 C9s. That was what we're talking about, Johnny. Please listen to us.
Anyway,
4 C9.
speaking of listening, let's listen to this post-game interview though.
That I came up with, hot dizzle.
I mean, we're tied like that.
Nice, all right. Thank you, Johnny.
We get the playoffs, obviously. You have to have this or not.
Oh my god.
My bro, hot dizzle. Call me Dan Dizzle.
Dan Dizzle?
That kind of
Right?
works. I'm kind of with Dan Dizzle.
Dan Dizzle? I don't know about that.
I can't do it for you two.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you. But it was great to see Hottie talking mad smack in the chat, guys. I love a little all chat BM, and to go toe to toe against Proper, who like Hottie said, for me, Proper was one of those players. I wouldn't BM Proper. I'm too scared of the demon mode coming out when you BM him. But Hottie was ready to take that risk, and you got to respect that.
Yeah, gambling man, paid off big times. I did love the all chat there. Proper starting off, throwing his team under the bus. It's like, I called cart. No one, and it wasn't Proper's job to go on the cart, right? So he's right about that. No, that match had it all. So thanks to both teams actually, because that one kept us so entertained. And now speaking of entertainment, of course, we have 2 more matches coming up tomorrow. Let's take a look at the bracket. Danny, you got so close to getting fired today. Fantastic. Great stuff all around. Spitfire will go up against Boston Uprising. Quite frankly, before today's match, I would have said, like, obviously Boston. In our bracket,
For
it says
real.
Boston. But something in me is now like,
Yeah.
but maybe.
I want to believe.
I don't want to believe.
I want to believe.
After seeing what they did to Shock, I'm like, man. And after that interview, I can't use my.
saying London, I was
I
like,
know.
wait a minute.
I want to believe.
Wait a minute.
We have to seriously think about our Prince show tomorrow. That's
Our-
going to be spicy.
Are we all baited into this? Like, I feel like there's just like one big conspiracy.
And for that next match, I feel like Titans got to be scared.
That's right. What you don't need to be scared about is missing the matches, because if you use the QR code on your screen right now, you can sync up your calendars and you'll make sure to be there no matter what.
That was so good.
I love that you hit a clean transition.
Yeah, I know.
I'm all
When you hit
excited.
those,
I'm all
I'm just like
happy.
Best of the day.
self-high-fiving.
Just like,
this was good.
easy.
This was good. Today was fantastic. Fantastic games. We have 2 more coming up tomorrow, but that's here, of course, it for now, for today. But if you can't get enough of Overwatch, no worries at all, in fact, because we have the Calling All Heroes Unite Minor 2 action coming right after a quick break. So stick around, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Have fun.